Hey everyone, welcome back to Ormsby Farm. My name is Casey. So, we have not posted in a while. We have not posted on Instagram in a while. We have not posted on Facebook in a while. So I thought, why not do a kind of update? I have been off of social media now since around Christmas. One thing that I strongly suggest is giving yourself kind of like a mental break from social media. That doesn't mean that we have not been doing the homesteading stuff, because we have, but I needed a break to kind of woosah and get my life back together. But today I wanted to do kind of like a little update video because a lot of y'all have been asking, and thank y'all so much for the sweet, kind emails and text messages, just checking up on us. We're fine, we're good. But I wanted to show like a little update of what we got going on, because it's about mid-February here in Georgia, which is when everything starts to be prepared for this upcoming garden season. So I'm going to kind of walk y'all around, tell you what we got planned, and go from there. So if that is something that interests you, stick around.
I'm coming home.
Alrighty, so we are first in the main garden, which is actually going to be pulled today. We have not done a lot of that stuff. I will say that I've kind of like let it slide and not have pulled up. So we have to pull up the old garden, pull up this ground cover that we used. I'm actually going to get some different ground cover to use out here. This ground cover will be used over in the corn area this year for weeds. And I'm also not going to be using this stuff again. It served its purpose, but a lot of it was ripped, torn. It just wasn't sturdy enough to handle all of our gardening needs this year. Let me see if I can find, there we go. Thank you, some lights. So another thing that we're doing out in this garden area is it will be doubled in size. We are actually going to have the gardens tilled by a tractor this year. So this garden will double in size because we got a great crop. We're starting doing farmers markets this year with our garden. Last year was kind of our testing season. And we want to make sure that we grow enough to sell and for us, because that's the first and foremost. But in here, it will be the same: tomatoes, peppers. I'm not going to do as much spicy peppers this year, only because I did so much last year that I have the hot sauces, which is what I grow them for probably the next 3 or 4 years. Bell peppers we'll do again, jalapenos we'll do again. We'll do all of the squashes like before, but everything will be the same. It will just be bigger and better. And I'm walking over to the area which is on the opposite side of the garden, which is what is going to be ripped up. Now, this was a grapevine that we wanted to see if it would come back, and it did not last year. It didn't come back, so all of it's going to be ripped up, and all of it's going to be tilled, mowed, and we're going to have the corn in this area back here. It gets great sun, as you can tell, because I'm being blinded-ish. It's close by the water, and we didn't do corn last year, and I really wanted to do corn, but we just didn't. We just didn't have enough time to get it all prepared. So that's one this year that we are definitely going to be doing. As you can see, another one, the chicken coops. We are officially ordering chickens, probably in the next couple of weeks for a later delivery. I was kind of last minute doing that, so we're gonna have a later delivery for the chickens, but this will be the first year that we're gonna have chickens, which we're really excited about. So now I'm going to walk on to our orchard, and y'all, it has rained so much here that this ground, I'm surprised I'm not like sinking down into the ground. We had somebody from our extension office. He was wonderful. He was so amazing. Come out and talk to us about pruning fruit trees and grapevines. Again, we're new at this. I didn't know. I wanted to make sure that I knew the correct way, because I knew that it had not been done from the previous owner. And so he came out and kind of gave us a lot of instruction on how to tame this grapevine area together. And we're going to actually be doing that today. Same thing with all the fruit trees. I will probably do some videos on what I learned from that, because it was very helpful, useful information that was given to us. So all of these fruit trees will be pruned. He said definitely start pruning mid-February, which is what it is right now. And same thing with the peach trees. We needed some pruning. So now we're actually walking over a peach tree area, and where we had our watermelon and cantaloupe last year. It did not do that well last year because we did not till. So it will be tilled up this year. I'm actually walking in the area now. All this will be tilled. Because here in the South, we should be getting watermelons very, very easily. And we did not. So that is one thing that's going to get done February and March, is prepare these gardens for tilling and for planting. I've talked about in other videos, but I will talk about a little bit more in upcoming videos, is what kind of fertilizer that I use. I use a 10 by 10. I definitely use, last year I used the leftover chicken manure that was at the homestead. I love me some Kelzyme. Y'all know I'm a huge Kelzyme proponent. And I will probably use some rabbit manure, because you know I love that stuff. So that is one of the big things that I'll be using to fertilize the ground. And as y'all know, over here in this other area was where we were going to have pumpkins. That is another one that will be tilled. We will be doing pumpkins this year very heavily. One, to sell, but also we found out that our dogs absolutely love the pumpkins even more than meat. And it's a lot cheaper. So we are going to get that done so that we are able to plant pumpkins and do all the stuff that we need to do with Pumpkin Patch. I tried last year, if y'all have been following us for a while, I tried to kind of like till in a certain area in like a 12 by 12 little circle, 12 inch by 12 inch, and that did not work. So I'm going to do it correctly this year and not lazy. So we can have a pumpkin patch that actually produces, because that would be nice. So now I'm going to head over to the greenhouse, because there's a lot of an update on that. So let's go over to the greenhouse. Alrighty, so we are now in the greenhouse, and as you can tell, weeds have come back. If you followed us last season, the greenhouse did not do that well. It was definitely too hot. It's definitely me learning about all the ways to grow beds here, or grow in the greenhouse here in zone 7A, which is where we are. So basically this one won't do a lot in this year, because what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be ripping up all of the raised beds that the previous owner made, and I'm going to be laying down ground cover throughout the entire greenhouse. And this is I think it's an 18 by 55 foot greenhouse. And we're going to either put gravel or mulch down and then rebuild hugelkultur beds like I did here on top of that covering. Probably what I will do in here is I will do something that is good for hot and dry, because that's what this area is. I'm definitely gonna be doing some fruit trees in here. Definitely stay tuned for those videos. But this is going to be a process. I mean, we cleaned as much as we could. I'm trying to kill as much weeds as possible before I again lay some ground cover down and try to redo what the previous owner tried to do and failed. But yeah, so we won't be doing a lot of growing in this greenhouse this year, but it's definitely an update that is worth talking about. Alrighty, so now we're back over in what is going to be the pumpkin patch area that needs to be tilled up, because I wanted to show you an update that we're actually really excited about. I've teased it a little bit on other videos, but haven't talked too much into it, and I won't be talking about it a lot today, but to give you a little bit more information about a part of our property that we are going to be turning into a non-for-profit 501c3, and it will be called Camp Ormsby. So one thing, if anybody knows me personally, that I am on this journey of becoming a foster to adoptive parent. And one thing that I wanted to do is we had so much land that I wanted to be able to give back to foster children. So we are turning this area with the pond and the area into a camp for foster children to learn farming skills, gardening skills, woodworking, all along while being kind of side by side with a Bible curriculum, Bible study. We're really excited about it. We're in the very early stages. So I definitely wanted to give more update on that. This is a part of our property that I'm not on a lot. So this is probably the first kind of like view that you're going to get of this area. I think we may have walked it with Brother Chris and Sis Tara one time. But me and Mom usually walk here every single night because the vision of it is great. And we're excited. We look forward to being able to give back. We have a lot of land, and being able to use it for good is something that really we feel that we were called to do. So that's kind of the update on this side, is that we are turning it into Camp Ormsby, a summer camp for foster children. So let's head back over, and I'm going to talk about the raised beds in the front of our house. And that's going to wrap this video up. I know it's kind of a longer video, but I haven't done a video in so long, and I miss talking to y'all, and so I'm just blah, blah, blahing. But now let's go over to the raised beds. And then, of course, the final thing that we're going to be doing are these raised beds, which are looking like a hot mess. But what we're going to do is mow it down, pull the weeds that we can, and then we're laying ground cover over the top of them, including the rocks, and then building the raised beds around the rocks. Even this giant one down here, we're going to do it and create somewhat of a hugelkultur on top of the woven fabric, because it would be weeks and weeks to try to get these rocks up that are embedded into the ground. But this right here is 32 feet by 32 feet, and the other ones are 16 by 21. And this will be our potatoes and sweet potatoes that will go in about a month. That's the herbs and the onion and garlic. So y'all, once I was editing this video, I realized I didn't do an outro for it. So I'm all painty and nasty because I'm painting the last bedroom in the farmhouse. So y'all, thank you so much for tuning into this video, our update of how everything's going. I'm planning on making sure that I'm putting out more videos going forward. Kind of took my time off, enjoyed it. Now I've got to get back into the posting the videos, kind of flow of everything. So make sure you are liking and subscribing and hitting that bell icon so you know when I put out new videos. I'm going to start posting more on Instagram and Facebook at Ormsby Farm. And until next video, be blessed. Oh, and yeah, so it's February. So comment down below if you're doing the $50 February challenge with Old Swedes Farm and the Cow Emporium. I know we have. I haven't posted much about it, but we're doing really well on it. So it's such a cool collaboration. So make sure you comment below if you're doing it. All right, y'all, be blessed.
I'm coming home.